is really throwing our ally out to drift alone, sticking the knife in Netanyahu. I can't say it enough. What he is doing now is crushing Netanyahu politically inside of Israel. But across the board, Israelis are very concerned. And Hezbollah is not a private concern of the Israelis either. We, in the United States, for decades have designated Hezbollah as a terrorist organization. Remember Marine barracks bombing in Beirut in 1983?
Well, let me follow up on that.
This is not a sideshow.
Here's what I want you guys all to hear, because he's not just talking about Israel and Iran. Now he's drawing in another actor entirely. This was said just moments ago.
I was very responsible for Syria, and the man that's running Syria now is a person that I put there along with President Erdogan and some others. He's done an amazing job of pulling it together. He's not a Boy Scout, but he's done an amazing job of pulling it together. And he is very good with Hezbollah, does not like them. And I'll tell you what, Israel's fighting Hezbollah too long, and too many people are being killed. And you don't have to knock down an apartment house every time you're looking for somebody, because there are a lot of people in those apartment houses, and they're not all Hezbollah, that I can tell you. And I suggested to Israel to let Syria take care of Hezbollah, because to be honest with you, I think they'd do a better job of doing it.
Okay, first of all, al-Shara of Syria took power during President Biden's term, so let's just make that clear.
And after a lengthy civil war,
where Hezbollah fought against al-Shara's forces inside of Syria when Hezbollah was backed by Iran and Russia. So the president's logic on this issue is very concerning. It's very circuitous. It is not accurate. And if he's calling for Syria to somehow now invade Lebanon to defeat Hezbollah, he's only calling for further regional war and escalation, not de-escalation. But it makes no sense. And so I really think he needs to stop talking about this fast.
Well, it's not that. He's, like I said, he's introducing new ideas into this. What did you guys, I'm just getting reactions to this right now. I don't know if, Sabrina, if you've covered as well. Obviously, Trump does have a good relationship with the new leader of Syria. I didn't know it was this good. Drag you into war good.
I mean, it is unusual to hear what is coming out of the president's mouth. Granted, we know he speaks extremely off the cuff, and the way he'll speak about world leaders today could be different from how he speaks about them a week from today. But again, I think when we're talking about something as serious as a war, when we're talking as serious of what's going on in the Middle East right now, of course you want to see the president moderate what he says and be measured in what he says, and this certainly raises concerns and questions about where we're at.
For the first time in a long time, probably in my 35 years of running political campaigns, most folks, most voters, and I know we'll talk about independence later, is they don't know or understand all the things that are coming out of us, or understand wars. They understand large things. They understand nuclear bombs, bad. They understand genocide. They understand those things. But in American politics, for the first time in a long time, AIPAC, Palestine, things that are happening with Iran, gas prices, they're becoming a bigger part of issue sets that people care about. Affordability is still number one, let me be clear. But it's still in the periphery.
Being talked about here, you see there, this is the G7. They're actually sitting down to lunch.
And this will be on clips today in social media that folks will see who are independents, who aren't following this every day, that will just pop up in their algorithm.
Should Syria be involved now?
Well, I don't know, but Audie, we are only 3 years past October 7th. And you have an entire country that's traumatized. 1,200 people died, over 400 people kidnapped around that, 12 Americans. The last one finally came home because of Donald Trump, who is the Nutra family, Omar Nutra. And so this, to your point, became top of mind to the American people, because it doesn't feel so far away when we know Americans were kidnapped, raped, murdered, and the horrific things that happened October 7th.
But just to bring the focus around, just because October 7th...
if I could just finish.
Yeah, no, but it was about Hamas. And right now we were listening to the president speak just moments ago, saying that Israel has gone too far, and where it's done with Hezbollah, not Hamas, in southern Lebanon, and now asking another country to support. I just want to keep it focused on where we are right now.
So the point is that they are surrounded, Israel is surrounded by people who hate them. If the president could be successful in getting Syria to fight their battles for them, to come to their defense, that would be great. I mean, they have peace with Egypt, they get along with the Jordanians, like things are better for them. But the people in Israel, they're a sovereign nation. They have to protect themselves. Bibi Netanyahu is up for re-election before October 27th. There's a lot happening in that country. Listen, if he can do it, if he can bring Syria to the table to help out, that would be great. And I bet you Israel would be
let my
thankful
diplomatic
for that.
person weigh in, Joel.
Well, I mean, what this shows is that the president really doesn't have a strategy for how to deal with the regional issues that are dogging this whole conflict. And I agree with you on October 7th, a calamity. But, you know, the hope at the beginning of this fight was that there would be not just the nuclear issue resolved, but also these other issues related to Hezbollah, regional proxy terror groups, the missile issue. That's all to the side now. That should be part of a diplomatic program to really hold Iran's feet to the fire. But he's left the heat, he's taken the heat off. And so now he's flailing. And I fear that the Israelis are only going to read this as a sign they are on their own, which increases the likelihood of more fighting inside of Lebanon rather than less.
Here's what he had to say about his role and support for Israel. This was just moments ago.
Without me, there would be no Israel, because no other president was willing to do what I did. I've had a great relationship with Bibi, but now Bibi has to be more responsible with respect to Lebanon.
Well, that is
Listen.
that is crazy.
I had 40 Young Women for America leaders that were in Israel last week and had to go underground because of bombing and shelling.
Yeah, but
so they are actively in the middle of a war zone
Yes.
in Israel. And Lebanon
But did they say
is
thank God for
a key
Trump,
Yeah,
or
issue.
but
what
Donald
happened?
Trump is not responsible for the state of Israel's existence.
No, but I'm just saying that it is absolutely. I'm just saying that I think that Israel has every right to protect themselves.
Yes.
And I would say that we have to be very clear-eyed about the fact that what's happening in that entire region. And if we can bring other
Do you
partners
think
like
that's
Syria
what
to help,
Trump
why is
just
that
said?
a problem?
Trump just said, if it wasn't for me.
There'd be no Israel, is what he just
Well,
said.
and
which
he has
I
protected
think
Israel. He brought
that
the
is
hostages
that is
home and-
absolutely counterfactual. There is no truth to that. Donald Trump did not create the state of Israel. He joined in a military action alongside Israel against Iran, clearly, but the state of Israel's existence is not dependent upon the President of the United States. We have a relationship,
But is the
It's
state
dependent
of,
upon the
hold on
United
one second,
States.
is
Israelis
the
created their own
state of
country.
Trump's deal
Yes.
dependent on Israel?
Absolutely integrated. And this is the core, this is an Achilles heel problem that we had in the Obama administration. When the Israelis were outside of that deal, that meant that there could always be problems that would have to be dealt with that weren't integrated. The same thing is happening again. President Trump did not include the Israelis in this deal. He's not talking about the hot issues like Hezbollah until some later date. And so it creates mischief and potential for mischief and spoilers. And I think he's going to see that be very problematic for executing the next phase of negotiations.
Which could happen as soon as Friday. Basically, the status quo is people are waiting to see the draft of this multi-point memorandum of understanding, potentially between Iran and the U.S. And on Friday, there could be a meeting about that, which J.D. Vance and others will be in attendance.